Toronto FC made Josh Sargent the centerpiece of its attack. A long-term contract, a designated player slot, expectations shaped by 5 seasons at Norwich City. But after 10 MLS appearances, 3 goals and 1 assist, is Toronto actually getting enough in return? Here is the honest answer. The early signs are promising, but the contract has not been justified yet. And the reason is not as simple as counting goals. To judge Sargent fairly, we have to look at the quality of his chances, the service around him, his movement, his pressing, and one uncomfortable question. Can a DP striker truly transform an attack if the team around him cannot find him consistently? Let's break it down. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to TFC On the Road, the channel for Toronto FC news, tactical analysis, roster moves, and the stories shaping the Reds on and off the field. Today we're grading Josh Sargent's first stage in MLS and asking whether Toronto is receiving designated player value from its new number 9. 1. The expectation was never ordinary. Sargent did not arrive as a developmental project. Toronto described him as a foundational piece, signed him through the 2030-31 season, and committed a designated player slot. That matters because DP strikers are judged differently. They are expected to score, of course, but also to give the attack an identity, raise the level of teammates, and decide matches that would otherwise drift away. The resume created that expectation. Across 5 seasons with Norwich City, Sargent recorded 56 goals and 15 assists in 157 appearances. He arrived with a reputation for sharp box movement, aggressive pressing, and quick finishing. Toronto was not simply buying another forward, the club was buying a reference point, the player every attacking move could be built around. So the standard is not, has he been useful? The standard is, has he changed the attack? 2. The production, respectable, not dominant. At the July 31st cutoff, Sargent had made 10 MLS appearances, started 8, and played 692 minutes. His return, 3 goals and 1 assist. That works out to roughly 0.39 goals and 0.52 goal contributions per 90 minutes. Those are respectable numbers. They are not failure-level numbers. But they are also not yet the kind of production that settles a designated player debate. What makes the sample more encouraging is how the goals arrived. Against Colorado, Sargent attacked Alonso Coello's corner and scored with a header. Against Philadelphia, he finished a quick combination with his left foot. Against Chicago, he timed his run between the center backs and converted Coello's pass with 1 touch. 3 goals, 3 different attacking situations, a set piece, a combination, and a run behind. That variety tells us the goals are not accidental. It also tells us Toronto has not created those situations often enough. 3. The bigger problem, service. The underlying numbers are balanced. 22 shots, 10 on target, 20 from inside the penalty area, and roughly 3.7 expected goals. His 3 goals are close to the quality of the chances he has received. In other words, this does not look like a finishing collapse. The bigger issue is volume. Toronto still has too many possessions where the ball reaches the final third without reaching Sargent in a dangerous position. Crosses arrive after the defensive line is set. Through balls come a second too late. The safer pass replaces the forward run. And that is where the debate becomes more complicated. A striker can improve his movement. He can attack the near post harder, check his run, or demand the ball earlier. But he cannot manufacture every delivery by himself. Supporters are right to expect more from a DP striker. They are also right to ask whether Toronto is giving him enough repeatable service to produce like one. The fairest conclusion is this: Sargent's chance quality has been acceptable. The number of chances has not. Number 4. Movement and pressing movement has been one of his stronger qualities. He stays between center backs, attacks the blind side, and knows when to drop short so another runner can continue beyond him. Those movements often create space, even when he does not receive the pass. His pressing is usually directional rather than reckless. He curves the run toward one center back while screening the pass into midfield, helping Toronto guide possession toward the touchline. The defensive numbers are solid rather than spectacular. 20 defensive contributions, 7 tackles, and 3 possessions won in the final third. He works, but pressing only succeeds when the rest of the team moves with him. If Toronto's midfield arrives late, the first run becomes wasted energy. Yet that is an important distinction. Sargent is not a passenger without the ball, but one striker cannot press an entire backline alone. 5. Chemistry is developing, but it needs repetition. The clearest chemistry has developed with Alonso Coello, Dániel Sallói, and Richie Laryea. Coello has found him through set pieces and vertical passes. Sallói understands when to move around him near the box. Laryea benefits when Sargent occupies the center backs and opens the right channel. Those relationships matter because chemistry is not just about one good combination. It is about the same movements, triggers, and passing lanes appearing every week. The best attacking partnerships become predictable to teammates, but difficult for opponents to stop. Toronto is not there yet. The connections exist, but they still appear in flashes rather than as a repeatable attacking pattern. 6. What still has to improve? First, Sargent needs continuity. A major contract is judged across long stretches, and Toronto needs its number 9 starting regularly enough to build rhythm. Second, he must become more demanding near the box, showing for the early cross, attacking the near post, and creating an extra shot when the service is imperfect. Third, his link play can be cleaner under pressure. On direct passes, the first touch and next action must help Toronto escape pressure and move the entire block forward. But Toronto must improve around him too. The spacing between midfield and attack is still too large. When Sargent is isolated against 2 center backs, every pass becomes harder, every second ball becomes less likely, and every attack depends on him winning an individual battle. That is not a sustainable way to get DP-level production. 7. Final grade and verdict. My grade is 6.5 out of 10. The finishing has been reasonable. The movement has translated. The chance quality suggests more goals can come. But is Josh Sargent worth the designated player contract right now? Not yet. He has justified Toronto's belief in the player, but not yet the full scale of the commitment. A DP striker must be available, productive, and capable of changing matches consistently. Sargent still needs more minutes, more goals, and more decisive influence before Toronto can say the contract is delivering full value. That does not make the signing a mistake. The contract was built for seasons, not months. At this stage, Sargent looks less like a failed investment and more like an unfinished one. The striker is functioning. The attacking system around him is still being assembled, and that may be the most important point of all. The next phase of this evaluation will tell us whether Toronto has merely signed a good forward or finally built an attack around a true designated player. Thanks for following along with TFC on the road. I gave Josh Sargent a 6.5 out of 10. What grade would you give him, and what does Toronto need to change to get more from him? Leave your answer in the comments, subscribe for more Toronto FC analysis, and until next time, keep supporting the Reds.